Do you ever have the kind of day where you just cannot get into a positive headspace, no matter how hard you try? You've tried all the normal tricks, thinking about what you're grateful for, whipping up your favorite coffee, putting on a good song. Nothing seems to work. You try asking yourself, what would make me feel good right now? What do I want to work on today? And the answer back is crickets. You got nothing. If only you could snap out of it and get back to work. After all, your to-do list is a mile long, am I right? In today's video, I'm going to teach you one really simple method to bounce back from a bad day when you're just feeling kind of funky. And it's probably going to surprise you because I'm guessing it's not what you think. Hey guys, Steph Crowder here from courageandclarity.com. I'm a sales coach and a business strategist devoted to helping you balance the head and heart of entrepreneurship so you can take your very next best step. All right, so you ready for it? You ready for my big tip? Just stop working. Seriously, stop. Put the laptop down, step away from the to-do list. I know how tempting it is to try to push through, and I'd believe you if you told me that the last thing you want to do right now is stop working. What you really want me to do, what you came here for, is to find a quick fix that's going to turn you from a grumpy procrastinator to a super productive to-do list smashing machine. But it just doesn't work like that, and here's why. We are all wired to work in cycles. I know it would be far more convenient if we could simply be switched on all the time, but think about it. What specimen, alive or inanimate, can be on all the time? Every creature on Earth rests sometimes. Crops are not harvested year-round. Flowers are not always in bloom. I mean, heck, even the powerful, incredible computer that you hold in the palm of your hand, the iPhone, has to be charged sometimes. Why is it that you believe or expect yourself to be some kind of exception? Now, I'm certainly not suggesting that you wait for perfect conditions to complete your work. If you wake up in a funky mood, I definitely want you to try all the normal tricks and everything you can to get yourself back into a good mood and knock things out for the day. But some days you try, and it's just so clear that you've hit some kind of wall. On those days, personally, I always do the same thing. I close my computer, I run a hot shower, and I stand there for as long as I want, and I just let my brain go blank, and I certainly don't work the rest of that day. This has taken me a lot of practice to get here, and on those funky days, I still resist it. But I've been doing this long enough to learn something really important about myself. My best, most groundbreaking, impactful work cannot possibly come from that funky, exhausted, negative place. It just can't. It isn't about trying harder. It's about listening to what it is that my head and heart actually need, instead of wasting a bunch of time trying to create something that on the other side inevitably just feels like a mediocre result. Here's a great little parable to remember for this. In his book, U Squared, Price Pritchett talks about a fly who is desperately buzzing on a windowsill. The fly is desperate to get where it belongs. It's desperate to get outside, so it keeps getting up, trying harder and harder, beating its little wings. But the truth is, the window's closed. It doesn't matter how desperate the fly is, doesn't matter how hard it tries to fly through that glass window because it ain't open. The worst part of this scenario is the fly has no idea that the door across the room is wide open. It hasn't stopped beating its wings long enough to look up and realize that if it wanted to, all it has to do is stop flying into the glass window, fly across the room, and out the open door. So while there's absolutely a time and a place for trying harder and getting back up again and giving it one more shot, part of becoming a truly efficient creative is learning to read your own signs, and that includes knowing when it's time to stop and step away. The craziest part for me is that when I give myself permission to just throw up my hands and walk away for the day, like I said, it's the last thing I usually want to do. The craziest thing is that the very following day tends to be a day where I have great energy. I tend to wake up, have fresh juices flowing, and I tend to get a great idea. So the next time you find yourself having a truly funky day, especially if you've been pushing extra hard lately, I want you to swap. SWAP stands for stop, walk away, pick a nourishing activity that has nothing to do with your work. I already mentioned that for me, it's a hot shower. Every time. It's quiet, I can think, I won't be tempted to pick up my phone because, well, water. Feel free to steal that idea or think of an activity that would work for you. Maybe it's a trip to your favorite coffee shop with a book. Maybe it's a tech-free walk outside. Hey, maybe it's even a nap. Give yourself permission to take the rest of the day off. Trust that tomorrow will be different, and remember that everyone and everything works in cycles. Believe that you have what it takes to get back in the game when you're ready. And just know that your creative, positive self will come back. Now it's your turn. Head to the comments below. I really want to hear from you. Tell me, the next time you have a funky day, when this happens to you, what's your go-to activity? I told you mine, but what are you committing to? What activity can you do to just help you swap? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll share this video or podcast episode if it helped you today. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss anything new from me. And until I see you next time, I'm wishing you the courage and the clarity to go after what you love.